So next neo-Freudian was Alfred Adler, and he has given the concept of lifestyle and the social interest. तो एडलर्स थ्योरी इज नोन एज इंडिविजुअल साइकोलॉजी, और उनका जो बेसिक एजम्पशंस था कि द पर्सन इज पर्पसफुल, like behavior of the person is purposeful and goal directed. So that is the basic like assumption. It is not like they are sexual or they are like very aggressive like Freud, and he said that they are purposeful and goal directed. And according to Freud, we have to guide the child, socialize the child, as they are not, they are wild, or they have more animal instinct kind of thing. So he said no, the person is purposeful and goal directed. So and each of us have like ability to choose and create something. We can take decisions, कहने का मतलब ये है. And and he said that our personal goals are the sources of our motivation. The goals that provide us the security help us in overcoming the feeling of inadequacy or important in our personality development. So the goals that we choose that create security and that help us to come out of inadequacy or important in our life. Inadequacy means, suppose you are not able to, you think that like anything you want to do and you are not able to do that, or you are not able to achieve that, then it creates insecurity. And if you achieve it, then you come out of that insecurity. So that is what Adler said. So in Adler's view, individual suffers from the feeling of inadequacy. इनका main focus था feeling of inadequacy. We feel inadequacy and guilt. सपोज एक बच्चा है एंड वो कुछ काम कर रहा है या कोई साइकिल चलाना सीख रहा है, समथिंग लाइक दैट, एंड ही इज नॉट एबल टू डू इट, देन ही मे फील इनएडिक्वेट और फील गिल्टी कि आई एम नॉट एबल टू डू इट. एंड इफ ही विल बी एबल टू do that, then he feel mastery and he will come out of his insecurities. And he called it inferiority complex. जो फीलिंग है इनएडिक्वेसी एंड गिल्ट का, उसको उन्होंने बोला inferiority complex, which arises from childhood, and overcoming this complex is essential for the optimal personality development. And to coming out of this like inferiority complex is the goal, and that will develop your healthy personality, right? That is what Alfred Adler said. So now we are coming to Erich Fromm. एरिक फॉर्म के बारे में हम लोग बात करते हैं. तो एरिक फॉर्म वाज अनदर neo-Freudians or post-Freudians, you can say. So he said कि Freud's biological orientation developed his theory from social orientation. So Freud said person is biologically determined, because when they born with that only they have sexual and aggressive tendencies. So that is a kind of biological, we call it deterministic view also. So that is a deterministic thing, you determine that person is like that. And but Erich Fromm ने बोला कि जो सोशल कॉन्टेक्स्ट है दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, नॉट दैट थिंग. सो हिज ओरिएंटेशन वाज सोशल, एंड ही विव्ड ह्यूमन बीइंग एज ए सोशल बीइंग्स. उन्होंने कहा कि ह्यूमंस जो हैं दे आर सोशल बीइंग्स, है ना, और उनको समझने के लिए तो उनके रिलेशनशिप्स विद अदर्स जो है वो समझने पड़ेंगे, हाउ दे इंटरेक्ट, हाउ दे हैव देयर रिलेशनशिप विद अदर्स. And he also said कि जो psychological qualities हैं such as growth and realization of the potential resulted from a desire for freedom and striving for justice and truth. So he said जो growth और realization की बात आती है, यानी achieving our own potential, highest potential, that comes from desire of freedom, freedom to choose, freedom to act, that kind of thing, and the striving for justice and truth. So these are the two things that is important according to Erich Fromm, because he is he was more focusing on like social aspect of the person, not the biological one. The form holds that character traits are the thing that how you behave in a certain in a different situations. We call it personality traits also, you can say. The character traits यानी कि personality जिसको आप बोल सकते हैं, develops from our experiences with other individuals. He said जो personality है वो develop होती है कि when the child is interacting with others around them, like in their own social context, so accordingly they learn how to behave, and they becomes their traits, and permanent traits or personalities. So while culture is shaped by the mode of existence of given society, people's dominant characteristic trait is given by the society work as a forces in shaping in social processes and the culture itself. So he said the culture है ना, is shaped by the mode of existence of given society, and people's dominant character traits is a given society work as a forces in shaping the social process and the culture itself. So society और जो हमारा जो इंडिविजुअल है वो एक दूसरे से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, and then because of that the personality develops. Suppose a person who is living in a place जहाँ पे बहुत सारा terrorism है, you don't know who will be alive, who will die, whom to trust or not. So personality कैसा develop होगा? Because they are not able to trust anyone, so they will not trust. Suspiciousness, that kind of personality will have. And if we are in a more secure environment where you can trust others, you are in a safe environment, then different kind of things will happen. So how you interact with your society, society means the people in the society, and that shapes your personality. So your culture, your personality is and your society, they interact with each other, and how your personality develops. And his work recognizes the value of positive qualities. Positive qualities such as tenderness and love in personality development. So he said for more positive personalities like tenderness, love, they help to develop positive qualities in the individual. So they are very important. So depending on the environment, what kind of environment or in a culture or society you are living, your personality develops. And then next theorist आते हैं एरिक्सन, है ना. तो he talked about search of identity, right? So Erikson's theory lays stress on the rational conscious ego processes in personality development. Rational means logical, conscious ego मतलब whom you are aware, जो प्रोसेसेस ईगो की हो रही हैं उसके बारे में जो आप अवेयर हैं. और ये दो चीज़ें उन्होंने बताई, दे आर मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इन पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट. हाउ यू थिंक consciously and you are making decisions and or logically, that all those things are important in the Erikson's theory. So and he said it is the development of the personality or self, you can say, is a lifelong process. And he says that ego identity is granted a central place in this process. His concept of identity crisis of adolescence age has drawn considerable attention. So he said that at each level, like we have different problem. Suppose like when you are a child, right? So when you are a child and you try to learn something, if you will learn, you feel like master of that, and you will be happy and your personality will grow. And then if you are not able to do that thing, then identity crisis will happen because other people are doing that and you are not able to do that. So similarly, and he called this concept as an identity crisis, and it became very famous for adolescence age, right? Erikson argues that young people must generate themselves a central perspective and direction that can give them meaningful sense of unity and purpose. So he said कि जो young people हैं यानी कि जो adolescents हैं teenagers जिनको हम बोल सकते हैं, so they must develop a central perspective and direction to give them meaningful sense of unity कि what they are doing, who they are, how they will achieve that, and so that thing will give them directions and purpose in their life. तो साइकोडायनामिक्स थ्योरीज जो न्यू फ्राइडियन जिसको हम बोलते हैं या पोस्ट साइकोएनालिटिक थ्योरीज बोलते हैं, वो कुछ इस तरीके से रहती हैं. तो मेन कॉन्सेप्ट्स इसमें आपको याद रखने हैं, जैसे आइडेंटिटी क्राइसिस क्या होता है, एंड सिमिलरली जो अदर कॉन्सेप्ट्स हमने पढ़े इससे पहले, तो मेन कॉन्सेप्ट उनको हम पढ़ते हैं. एंड इन योर फर्दर क्लासेस इफ यू गो फॉर साइकोलॉजी लाइक इन ग्रेजुएशन एंड पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन, you will like study these concepts in much more details, right? So that you have to you will learn. And then now we are talking in general about what all things are. So that like psychodynamic theories face strong criticism from many quarters. Like इनका बहुत ज़्यादा क्या कहते हैं criticism भी है, because you cannot test them empirically. Like these concepts cannot be tested scientifically. So that is one problem. The major criticism as follows: the theories are largely based on the case studies. Case studies when you take only one or two cases to study, and they lack the rigorous scientific basis. That is what I said कि scientific base के बारे में ये लोग बात करते हैं कि नहीं है, और एक या दो केसेस जो स्टडी की गए उनके बेस पे थ्योरीज डेवलप की गई हैं. तो इनको बाकी पॉपुलेशन पे अप्लाई करना कितना बेटर होगा, वी डोंट नो. That is what the criticism is. And they use small and atypical individual as sample for advancing जनरलाइजेशन. तो उन्होंने कहा कि एक टिपिकल इंडिविजुअल्स लेते हैं, यानी जिनको प्रॉब्लम है आप उन्हीं को लोगे, जनरल लोगों को तो आपने लिया नहीं. तो जनरलाइज करना इज ए प्रॉब्लम. जनरलाइज करने का मतलब क्या है कि अगर मैंने कोई स्टडी की है कुछ लोगों पे और मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि ये दूसरों लोगों के लिए भी उसी तरीके से ये थ्योरी काम करेगी सबके लिए, तो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल काम है. बिकॉज इफ़ यू वांट टू जनरलाइज इट, मतलब इट शुड वर्क फॉर एवरीवन, सो वी हैव टू टेक ए लार्जर सैम्पल, बट वी हैव टेकन ओनली 1 or 2 people टू स्टडी. तो वी शुड हैव टेक लाइक 1000, 2000 या 5000 पीपल, देन ओनली वी कैन से कि ये बाकी लोगों के लिए भी काम करता है. तो जनरलाइजेशन का मतलब ये होता है. The concepts are not properly defined and it is difficult to submit them in scientific testing. So concept अच्छे से described नहीं है, इनके ऊपर ये criticism भी है, और इसको हम बहुत क्या कहते साइंटिफिकली हम असेस नहीं कर सकते हैं. बिकॉज व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इन्फेरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स, तो हाउ यू विल असेस दैट, मेजर दैट इज द मेन प्रॉब्लम. फ्रॉयड हैज़ यूज मेल्स एज द प्रोटोटाइप ऑफ ऑल ह्यूमन पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट. ही ओवरलुक्ड फीमेल एक्सपीरियंसेस. तो उन्होंने फीमेल एक्सपीरियंसेस को, फ्रॉयड ने खास तौर पे उनको वो नहीं दिया, मेनली वो मेल पे फोकस्ड किया है उन्होंने प्रोटोटाइप के तौर पे, यानी मेल को लिया हुआ है, ना कि फीमेल्स को, और फीमेल्स को उन्होंने एज ए इन्फीरियर पर्सन देखा हुआ है. तो दीज वर द क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ यू कैन से न्यू फ्रॉयडियन एज वेल एज फ्रॉयड्स जो थ्योरी है उसका.